Hi, welcome to my presentation of my abstract about copywriting AI-created music. I'm going to start by showing you an example of a program called SonicPy, and in SonicPy you can code music. So you don't actually play anything, you just tell the system what to play for you. As you can see, this is just a bunch of instructions, and as you can hear, this creates a very simple melody. Now I can change some things, like change, for instance, the length of the sound, change the nature of the sound, change which scale the notes come from, change filters, change all kinds of things. And this software allows you to do this with basically any sound you can imagine. You can import your own sounds, or you can use someone else's sounds, or you can just use the synthesized sounds of the system. And this creates a bunch of interesting questions for copyright purposes. Now, my abstract is as follows. I'm not going to read this out loud to you, but you can read it for yourself. About the legal status of creative works made by artificial intelligence software. Now, I'm going to do this by focusing on two cases. The first is Ampere. Ampere is a software, basically a company and also a product that creates music for you. You select an instrument or a style, and you set a tempo and a duration and a key and some further settings, and it just creates music for you, basically. This is done by using AI and a whole giant big database of analyzed files. It doesn't say much about exactly which files they are, but all of this music comes from the system itself. You don't actually have to play any notes, you just give it some instructions and it creates music for you. The second software company and also package and product is called Ava. It focuses a little bit more on cinematic music, but also has some rock, pop, and jazz settings. And it works much like Ampere, except here you set even less. You just click some instrumentation and set maybe a tempo, but you can even set all of these to auto, and it will just generate music for you, much in the same way using AI and an analysis of a very big number of compositions. Now, interestingly, Ava says in its licensing that a licensee will be granted either a non-commercial license, a commercial license, or a full copyright buyout. This type of license granted to the licensee upon download will depend on the plan the user currently is subscribed to. So, in essence, they are saying whatever is made by this program is ours unless you take the full package and get the copyright buyout. But I'm not even sure that this will hold up, because in many countries you cannot actually copyright music that is not created by a human. In much of Europe, only humans or humanly created creative works can be copywritten. In the USA, there's some unclarity on what the law says, but all of the court rulings have so far indicated that it does have to be made by humans. In the UK, however, there's a provision for, let's say, use of AI to make music, in which the person whom the arrangements has made necessary for the creation of the work are undertaken. So that's still vague, but it says something about all the people, I guess, that are involved in creating the tools or maybe the software to make this music. This is a law from the 90s, so that's well before these commercial packages that I just said became popularized, because they are only now just being commercialized. So I will look at this from four theories: the labor theory, the personality theory, the incentive theory, and the vehicle theory. I won't go into much depth about them, but I will explain them really quickly. The labor theory is about, if you put in labor, then that makes it yours. Basically, the personality theory doesn't say anything about labor, but it's more about if it is yours personally. If you define it as yours, regardless of how much work you put into it, then it's yours. The incentive theory says, no, it has to be incentive. The incentive has to be to give it to the public and sell it. And this is not based on any kind of specific theoretical standpoint, but it's more is coming from some court cases, specifically the one mentioned here. And the vehicle theory is more of a combination of all of these by Takeshi Yamamoto. So, once I've written my paper, I will give some conclusions and some advice, but these are the main questions that are going to be handled now. So commercialization of AI created music seems from a legal standpoint difficult. So is it even possible? How can companies license their software, or can they maybe change the software so humans are still involved so that you can use other copyright laws? Who are the copyright holders? Is this the company that owns it? Is it the person that wrote the software, which may or may not be someone who's still working for the company? What can the companies do to sell the software? We all know that if you can't copyright something, then it's very difficult to make money with it. And maybe should laws change on this subject? So I'm very interested in your opinions and your feedback and your input. I have some good academic sources on copyright law and on AI and copyright, but these two commercial cases are very new, and there isn't much research on real world implications of copyright law for artificial intelligence. So I'm interested if anyone can point me in the right direction as far as that goes. Thanks for watching.